this day, and we're always grateful for all that you do to provide for us. We're thankful for the rain that you've sent. We ask you to keep it coming. Lord, we also pray over all those who have suffered loss, especially through fires, and we just ask you to encourage them. We pray that their family, friends, and neighbors would rally around and be a blessing to them. Father, we pray that you would help us to have wisdom today as we deliberate on the county's business. Give us wisdom. We want to be good stewards over what you blessed us with. We want to be a blessing to all those who reside here in Harrison County. Thank you again for all you do for us. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Join me in the pledge to the United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Don't have any public comments today. Are there any announcements? We do have an announcement here. First off, from our extension office, this is a proclamation declaring October 1st through the 7th, 2023 as National 4-H Week here in Harrison County. Got the whole office here. Good to see you guys.
Yes, good morning. Thank y'all for having us. I think you all do have a copy of the proclamation. If not, I have a copy. But that first week in October, the 4-H program will be recognized just not here in the state of Texas, but throughout the United States. And as you all know, 4-H is a program for youth between the ages of 8 and 18, and they learn a lot of skills, not just agriculture and or home economics, but also life skills. It teaches community service, public speaking, and things of that nature. And I do want to tell y'all, thank you so much. I tell everybody, if it had not been for our court, we would not have our 4-H program assistant. And we are off to a great start, doing wonderful things. And Jennifer had her first 4-H meeting about, 2 weeks ago? And we had over 40 people there, and that's record. That's a record breaker, and I've been here in the county 15 years, and we've never had that many youth and parents at a 4-H meeting. So it's going to be a good year, a great year. Oh, and also I do want to let y'all know we did win an award for last 4-H year for our curriculum enrichment. We received second place in the district, and we increased it by 146?
147%.
Yes, and that's amazing.
We
Amazing.
had about 4,700 contacts with elementary age kids in the county.
Excellent. You guys know we're behind the 4-H. We want to see it grow and prosper, so thank y'all for what you've been doing and what you continue to do. We're expecting great things, so thank y'all very much.
Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was in our announcement section. We don't have any public comments. We do have a quorum present today. Present in voting precinct 1 is Commissioner Hatfield. Precinct 2 is Commissioner Timmons. Sims presiding. Precinct 3 is Commissioner Walden. Commissioner Ebark is out of town today, but he is on Zoom with us here. He couldn't help himself, I guess. First up, from our auditor, good morning, Ms. Simon.
Good morning.
She's going to update us on our new payroll system.
Yes, sir. We did go live. Our first payroll processing was this last payroll, so this is the one payroll we started yesterday is our second, of course. The first one, we encountered issues that we did not encounter during test. So it was very cumbersome, but we got through it. Tyler worked with us. We had meetings at 6 o'clock at night trying to get all of the issues resolved, so they worked with us. HR was with us 100%. So with the help of Sherlin and my staff, we did not meet the deadline for the Wednesday deadline. We missed it by, I think it was 15 minutes. We were trying. But of course, that's just, some people, depending on their financial institution, will receive their money on Thursdays, but everyone always have their money on Fridays, and that's what took place this last time, is that everyone did have their paycheck in their direct deposit on Friday. Today, at this payroll, not encountering the issues. There are still some hiccups we're working through, but it's much easier. Much less data entry than what we had in the past. I mean, it's importing the time that the employees enter. It's very seamless from that perspective. Once we get the mapping of everything corrected, that's what we're encountering, is the mapping of the existing data. So, but we are less errors this time, so the next time we're hoping for none. But the employees are doing real good about clocking in and out. There's still some hiccups. The ones that having the most issues, excuse me, are, I would say, the deputies. Now, we do not have any restriction as to where they can clock in the county. Most other offices have a restriction that it has to be within the parking lot of their location. But for the deputies, there is no restriction because they could be clocking in anywhere in the county. So, but that's a cell phone and location issue that we're still, and we'll always have those issues because the cell phone might not register your current location. So, but other than that, it seems to be going well. I know that you all remember the stack payroll. It's down like that now. So all of the time cards are online. It's much easier to review payroll. So greatly appreciate it. And everyone's adjusting to clocking in and out.
Super. So these are just growing pains. You feel like they're temporary. Get them sorted out.
Yes, because the last payroll, when we imported our first import, it was, I think it was about 100 employees, and keep in mind that the 100 employees are clocking in when they get here, when they leave for lunch, when they come back, and when they go home. We had over 800 errors. It took a while to work through those. It did take a while, but with HR's help, Tyler's help, we did get through them. This time we had 6. So the errors are vastly improved, so it's just working out the minor kinks at this point.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
So thank you so much it's so much easier reviewing, it's so much easier, it's automated. Some of the uniqueness in each of the departments, we modified the system to where we accommodate it to where it's not a manual process. So thank you so much for budgeting the software system for us. We greatly appreciate it.
Not quite QuickBooks for county government, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Right.
This has made tremendous strides in being paperless.
Yeah.
It is, the department heads are still required to submit a recap sheet because we have to have something to check against, and we have to have something showing this is what we're approving to pay. So we still have the recap sheet that we check up against, but it seems to be working real well. The one complaint I hear is I forget to clock in and out. And that's just people getting used to it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
thank you for your steadfastness. I mean, yeah.
it's been an improvement for us.
Right, good deal. Perfect.
No other comments, we'll move on to item number 1, that's consideration and approval regarding line item transfers.
You should have a request. I am requesting $313,027.96. 200,000 of that is related to road and bridge.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes 4-0. Number 2 is consideration and approval of payment of regular bills.
Requesting payment of $1,247,729.54. Of that, almost $634,000 is related to our road construction projects.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 4-0. Item number 3 is consideration and approval of payroll for September 15th, 2023.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments on the payroll? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 4-0. Item number 4 is consideration and approval to pay 6 days, that's September 25th through September 30th, at the new pay rate that will be effective October 1st, 2023.
This is a request, we did this last year. Our payrolls are always split between the fiscal years. And if we have to pay dual rates, it's a tremendous task to ensure we're paying at the correct rate for all 300 employees. Of course, I would say there's about 270 that are hourly that we would have to do this, but we would still have to do this for the exempt and elected officials because you're still, everyone's split between the fiscal years. This allows us to pay at the new rate that's been budgeted, and with the salary savings that we've had and then due to attrition, it's not a negative impact to the budget.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Number 5 is consideration and approval for technical training for all JPs and their clerks for the fiscal year 2023 through 2024 to be paid out of the JP Tech Fund.
This is a request for the entire fiscal year. That way we do not have to come back to court every time a justice of the peace or one of their clerks travels during the year. It's just a blanket approval. As long as they stay within the budgeted line items, the approval is, we use this as the approval.
What kind of monies do we have in that bond right now, Miss Becky?
Right now, we have about, I would say about 140,000.
Okay.
And we did, the budget was a little bit higher this year for travel because the JPs were having to travel and the JPs were educating their clerks. So there is more spend taking place in this fund. So, it only benefits the county too.
Oh, yeah.
So they try to use this money first before they use their department funds.
Yeah, they're real good at that too.
Yes, they are.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Malden. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next up for Road and Bridge. Good morning, Mr. Davis.
Good morning, Your Honor, Commissioners, how y'all doing? So, the road and bridge forces, we've completed our construction projects. we should be finishing up Lotta Road today. So it turned out to be a pretty good summer. As the temperatures continue to climb, we're gonna be doing some overlays down the Elysian Fields right now. Then we'll move over to the Scottsville area. So we're overlaying a lot of the shorter roads that are too short to reconstruct. So we're continuing to build roads and move on. Rayford Truck and Tractor, they started on Airlight and Macedonia both yesterday. So they're moving along pretty good. And they've also completed their 34.957 miles of chip seal, and they all turned out very well, very well. And we still have 9.042 miles of roadway that's going to be constructed. Most of all that money come from the America Rescue Plan, of course. County forces, we've reconstructed 12.329 miles. And plus cleaning up after the storm, and we just had a very busy summer ourselves. And the HV Caver, they come back and completed their 3 miles of chip seal from the 2021 project. They still have some warranty work to come back and do. So, and we still have another 4.55 miles in progress to be completed. And hopefully they'll have this completed by the end of October.
Is that
So, no, that's gonna be Rayford. So Caver's completed everything they had. Like I say, there's 3 roads I had them go back to. There's gonna be some warranty work to do on them. There's spots that didn't take, that got peeled up. So they're supposed to do that either this week or next week, and they'll finally be through. I know this has been going on since 2021, but we're finally getting it done. So as a total, right now, we have 65.961 miles of road that has been completed this year. So it's been a very good year. And HX Farms, they got in contact with me yesterday, and they're gonna start another round of their mowing on our right-of-ways. They're gonna try to start somewhere at the end of October and the 1st of November, so it'll be a nice cut for the holidays. You know, they get it cut, that first frost hit it, it's not gonna grow again to spring, so everything should look pretty nice and tidy for the holidays. And we've still got a bunch of trees, of course, we gotta pick up, so when they get to these trees, they'll just mow around them till we can go and pick them up, and then we'll send out our mowers to go and get those spots where the trees were laying they couldn't mow. So that's all I've got on the administrative report right now.
Do you guys have any questions, Mr. Davis, on this construction administrative report?
I just want to thank Mr. Davis for taking time yesterday to do a ride-along with one of the contractors on one of the roads in my precinct. And there's a lot of eyes on that road, Luke, so
Oh, yes, we're definitely gonna hold him to the fire.
we want it shiny.
It's gonna be done right.
All right, well, thank you for your time on that, Luke.
Yes, sir.
On to item number 1 is consideration and approval of personnel changes for Harrison County Road Bridge.
We've had one new hire since our last court, and there's one part-time slot that we lost. Is that correct? No, we filled it one part. Oh, we filled it? Okay.
Is there a motion to approve our personnel changes?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Walden. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of the utility application submitted to Harrison County Road and Bridge Department as follows. East Tex Telephone Cooperative on 4th Avenue, Gum Springs Water Supply, that's on County Road 3630 or Hunt Cutoff. East Tex Telephone Cooperative on Schmidt Drive, and CenterPoint Energy on Country Club East, which is County Road 3417.
Yes, sir, they've all been inspected and they meet their standard specifications outlined in our utilities application. On Smith Drive, it's a fiber optic line. Gum Springs, of course, is a water line, and that's CenterPoint Energy. It's on Country Club Road East.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Mullen. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 4-0. Next up, item number 3 is consideration approval of private road issuance order number 71 for private road number 4439, also known as RV Park Road, located in precinct 4, approximately 1,000 feet east of the intersection of Scout Drive, which is County Road 4421, and Texas State Highway 154, running north off of Texas State Highway 154.
Yes, sir, this request is based on EDCOC addressing protocols. It was an existing easement. It was already there. It's being, issued a private road number with the addition of a RV park being built in there.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Mullen. Any other questions or comments? I see it, we're starting to see a lot of these, and I guess all of them because EDCOG's working on updating our mapping. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's right. Matter of fact, we just went through a big ordeal with addressing our new addressing system. Mr. Mays and Lisa and myself, we got with the people at EDCOC and worked with them and set out these rules. Most of them were already in place from the Texas Easternly 911. So we just sort of simplified a lot of it. So they'll be issuing the new addresses instead of Easternly.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, item number 3 passes 4-0. Number 4 is a public hearing regarding the proposed stop sign placement order for Cardinal Lane, which is County Road 3545, at the intersection with Page Road, which is County Road 3542, in Precinct 3. It is 9:22. We'll start the public hearing for the stop sign placement order on Cardinal Lane now. Anybody have any questions, comments, suggestions, thoughts on the stop sign placement order? Do we have a stop sign there currently?
No, sir, there's never been one there. So with us doing Page Road and upgrading it, there's so much traffic coming from the new school and all the new residents that moved in. This Cardinal Lane, it intersects with Page Road North. So it definitely needed one there. It was a safety issue.
All right. Any comments? Hearing no comments, it's 9:23. We'll close the public hearing and move on to item number 5. Item number 5 is consideration and approval of the stop sign placement order number 23-113 to place a stop sign on County Road 3545, which is Cardinal Lane, at the intersection with County Road 3542, which is Page Road in Precinct 3. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mullen, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 6 is consideration and action to approve the pre-bid lease purchase of 4 dump trucks through the Texas Interlocal Purchasing System and authorize county judge to execute any and all documents related to the said lease purchase agreement for the Road and Bridge Department, subject to acceptance of any necessary financial agreement.
Yes, sir. The extended lease buyback on the 4 Mack dump trucks, it expires in October. And we're requesting to return the 4 units and replace them with new models.
We're going back with virtually the same thing, just.
Yes, sir. The price did increase on these about 43,000 per unit, but the buyback also went up 40,000, so it's gonna be about $3,000 more per unit, you know, when it's said and done. It's still a real good deal, you know.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any other questions or comments on the lease purchase of dump trucks? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 7 is consideration and action to approve the service agreement for the iWork program in the Road and Bridge Department, scheduled to begin implementation in December 2023.
Yes, sir. The Microsoft database that it's used in tracking our road work and equipment, material cost, and man hours. That program is no longer supported by Microsoft, so Road and Bridge is requesting a program that we did put in the budget, you know, for our last meeting. The vendor has agreed for a $2,000 discount on the contract if we can get this executed at this time. The Road and Bridge plans to begin migrating our new system in November and December of this year. If you'll note on the final page of the contract, it gives December the 18th as the invoice date. This new program will offer multiple additional facets to the Road and Bridge offices. And we're really excited about getting it going.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any other questions or comments?
I do have a question. Is this also something that commissioners, can download on our computers?
I don't think so, but what we usually do is we use this program to print out copies that we give to y'all
Okay.
in our bi-weekly reports.
Okay.
You know, it just keeps track of all our work and material and equipment and, you know, man hours.
Okay.
So anytime they wanted to see some of that information, you could send them a copy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we usually send it to y'all in our bi-weekly reports. That's where we get all that information from. It's, the O system is just outdated and they discontinuing it.
I guess I got a little confused because there's one program where you can track, when in the field, when the workers complete one job and head to another job, so you know how long it took them to complete and then how long it took them to get to the next job to start it.
Yeah, we usually do that on our GPS
On the
monitoring.
GPS. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 4-0. Item number 8 is consideration and approval for the Enterprise Fleet Management quote number 7485735 for a 2024 F-350 chassis 4x2 SD regular cab for Road and Bridge work truck. You guys will remember this is the one we passed over last week because it was a Dodge Ram that was unavailable. They found a replacement Ford F-350 to do the same thing. Any comments on that, Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir. We, like you said, we couldn't get the Dodge, so this was the only thing that's available. And this is gonna replace one of the county-owned trucks. Then the truck it's replacing is 15 years old, so it's starting to cost us a lot of money just to keep it up.
Service truck, you'll have.
Yes, sir, to have
service
a
bed on it.
utility bed on it, and it goes out and works on our heavy equipment and stuff like that, tractors, motor graders, and stuff like that. It's very vital to us.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. We have a motion by Commissioner Timmons, a second by Commissioner Mullen. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 4-0. That brings us to, thank you, Mr. Davis.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Brings us all the way to purchasing. Two more items. Item number 1 is consideration and approval to declare the listed fixed assets along with seized items from the sheriff's office and district attorney's office as salvage and/or surplus, and to appropriately dispose of said items via online auction along with the approval of publication for the said auction.
So the list of fixed assets are vehicles from Road and Bridge, and in that seizure, we seized monies, a house, a Lexus, and jewelry. We will be auctioning off the house and the jewelry, and the DA will be driving the Lexus.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments? Not all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 2 is consideration and approval of the attached change order number 2 for Mount Pleasant Cutoff, the bid number 2023-03. Change order number 2 for Macedonia Road bid number 2023-06, and change order number 2 for Airline Road bid number 2023-05 for the extension of the project date to be completed by October 31, 2023.
These change orders were requested by Road and Bridge, and it was due to the weather.
Yep, so this is, Rayford Trucking working on Mount Pleasant, Macedonia, and Airline, and he's asked for an additional month to complete,
Yes, sir.
that work. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malden, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is our treasurer. Good morning, Ms. Washington.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Item number 1 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the treasurer's monthly report for August 2023 and authorization to publish on the county website pursuant to local government code, section 114.026.
For the monthly report, for the month of August, we begin the month with $7,857,238.44. Receipts, $7,615,659.74. Disbursements, $10,315,384.77. And ending balance would be $5,157,513.41, with our investments being $27,756,858.98. Our cash plus investment balance for the end of August is $32,914,372.39.
Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's monthly report?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Number 2 is consideration and approval of the Harrison County Treasurer's investment report for the month of August 2023.
For the month of August, in Texas class, we begin the month with a balance of $1,099,806.01. Interest rate 5.4752. We earned $5,124.44 with an ending balance for Texas class $1,104,930.45. With our Ameriprise Financial investments and our Texas Bank and Trust wealth investments, we have a total investment total of $27,756,858.98. For Texas Bank and Trust Money Market, we begin the month of August with $7,917,524.22. Contributions was $999,616.85. We withdrew $5,500,000. That interest rate is 5.39. Interest earned from our money market was $98,075.78, and an ending balance of $3,515,216.85. Texas Bank and Trust main account, we earned $1,130.55 with a total monthly interest rate, total monthly interest earned is $104,330.77 with a year-to-date total of earned interest $884,268.56.
That is terrific. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, is that a second, Commissioner Rowland? And a second by Commissioner Marlin. Any questions or comments? I just want to thank you for keeping up with that and investing our money wisely. We're going to be easily pushing $1 million in interest this year.
I was hoping to see $1 million. That would be a first, but I don't know that we'll get there, but we'll be close.
All right, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Good deal.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next up, from our elections office, Mr. Robinette. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Item number 1 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the polling places for November 7th, 2023.
Whenever I drew these up, I tried to divide them pretty evenly among the Commissioner J.P. Constable precincts, and especially on Election Day, as far as that division for countywide. So we're reducing down to 13 polling places on election days, which is 1/2. We're able to do that. And so if on Election Day especially, Commissioner J.P. Constable Precinct 1 has 4 locations, 2 has 3, 3 has 3, and 4 has 3. So that gives us our 13. And then it's somewhat similar over the early voting. We're covering, of course, the elections office for early voting, and then Karnak, Wascom, Carver here, Marshall, Gold Hall and Hallsville, Woodland Hills and Longview, and Harleton. And we do have 2 ISDs that are on the north sides of the county, Karnak and New Diana, that are holding elections. So that's how we come across what we believe is our best placement of things here. Do you have any questions?
These look pretty standard, like what you've tried to do in the past.
Sure.
Similar polling places, and I think that's
Ordinarily, in the past, when it's been what we would anticipate being a low voter turnout election, like in a constitutional amendment election, we might not open as many polling places, but doing the countywide, we do have to open half.
Sure.
So I allowed for that in our budget going forward.
And next year, I'm sure the primary and a large general election will have more open probably than this.
We will have a meeting of the election board and the party chairs and all involved when we get to the primary to see what places would be the most required. I believe this gives a pretty good representation across the county so that everybody has an opportunity to not have to drive too far to vote. According to the election code, you're not supposed to have to drive over 25 miles to go vote, but we don't have any place, I believe, in the county where anybody would have to drive that far, so.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by
All
Commissioner
right.
Timmons, second by Commissioner Marlin. Y'all have any questions or comments on our polling places for the November 7th, 2023 election?
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Robinette. Next up, new business, item number 1, consideration and approval of the interlocal agreement between the City of Marshall and Harrison County for the 2023-2024 Wonderland of Lights Courthouse display.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Number 2 is consideration and action regarding the approval of Harrison County Appraisal District 2024 through 2025 HCAD Director nominations. We had, I've sent out y'all this information for you to consider, who the county might nominate for the election. This is not the election, but it's just nominating, persons that we would like to see serve on the Appraisal District Board of Directors. Currently, Albert Tiller from Elysian Fields is serving, representing the county. He has agreed to serve again, so I'd like to nominate Mr. Albert Tiller to be on the list of nominations for the election to the board. Do y'all have anyone else you'd like to nominate? No other nominations. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 4-0. Item number 3 is consideration and approval for the first contract renewal for the Savings and Appriss Insights LLC. That savings grant is what we do each year. It's the statewide automated victims notification service. It works hand in hand through our law enforcement office. This is something we do every year. Just it's time to do it again. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes 4-0. Item number 4 is consideration and action on the appointment of Hunter Schultz to fill the unexpired term, it's expiring December 2023, of Randall Jeans as Fire Commissioner for Harrison County Emergency Services District Number 2. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Malton, second by Commissioner Timmons. Just a quick comment. You guys know this is the Nesbit Fire District, and Hunter Schultz is part of that Schultz family there from Bear Creek, and he's willing to serve as a fire commissioner on the, basically the board of directors for that emergency services district, replacing Randall Jeans. I believe Mr. Jeans had requested to step down.
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 5 is consideration and action to approve and implement the new addressing standards as drafted by the East Texas Council of Government, Harrison County Sheriff's Department, and Harrison County Road and Bridge Department. Is there a motion to approve?
I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments? We'd heard earlier from Mr. Davis about how well they're working with EDCOG and getting our addresses and road numbers cleared up, so we do appreciate that. Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 6, consideration and approval to allow online auctions for tax foreclosure sales and to adopt rules governing online auctions. Ms. Liz Vaughn here with the MVBA this morning to tell us about online sales for our tax sale.
Good morning. What we have is a resolution for your consideration to allow online tax sales. So instead of us being on the courthouse steps on the first Tuesday of every month, this resolution would permit us to do the sale online. It is not a mandatory resolution, it is a permissive resolution. So if we try them and see that right now is not the time for them, we can always come back and do sales in person. And then we've set up some rules for the online auction process. The platform right now that we would use is our own platform through MVBA Law Firm. And you just go online to MVBA tax sales, you have to register, and then you can see all of the online tax sales, and you can bid there. Tax sales would still be on the first Tuesday of the month. They would start at 10 in the morning and end at 4 in the afternoon.
So you've been using this in other counties successfully?
We have. We started this in Burnett County. We've also done several in Comal County. We had our first one in Smith County last month. We were supposed to have one in Angelina County, but the property was withdrawn because it was paid. We'll be having our first one in Gregg County, I believe, in November. And so it appears to be the way that things are going. We're going to also do this in Cherokee County as well, and try it and see how it works there.
Very good. And how will we notify the people that usually show up down here on that Tuesday morning? How will they know not to show up and how to register online?
Good question.
So we will have information. We have a tax sale actually next Tuesday, and so we'll have information printed out for them to make sure that they're aware to where they need to go and look, and that they understand that they have to register in advance. We have another tax sale scheduled for December. We'll also have that same information at December. We'll do a posting at the appraisal district, at the county tax office, and then we'll make sure that our website shows that it's an online sale, as well as the county website.
So if I was unaware and I showed up down here next Tuesday morning and nobody's there, it's just a posting that says it's online, would I have time to go back, sit down at my computer, register, and then bid on the items that I'd wanted to bid on?
You should be able to do that. I am not that familiar with the registration process because I have not been involved with them yet, but I can double check on that. Because the sale does last until 4 p.m. in the afternoon, I feel like there's probably plenty of time because you have to show up and register now. And so people start getting there between 9:15 and 9:30. And so I feel like they would have plenty of time since the sale doesn't end until 4 p.m.
You sent me something, and it had that information in there, and I think it's pretty simple.
That's the bidder acknowledgement form. It's, if you go to our website right now and you look at the sale information, the very first page is a bidder acknowledgement form. It has all the rules for bidding in person. It tells you where the sale is, when the sale is, and things like that. So that same information will still be available for online sales. It will also, we have to publish in the newspaper, and so the newspaper will contain the website address for the online auction. And of course, we field hundreds of phone calls anytime we have a sale posted in the newspaper or online. And so we would be instructing everyone that the sale would be an online sale. And just like if we decided that maybe for whatever reason we wanted to have an in-person sale, we would make sure that information was broadcast so that we would reach the maximum number of bidders.
Super. Well, I appreciate you double checking, and if there's any way possible to make sure that I could, not me, but someone could register first thing that morning and still be able to bid all the way through that day. I would feel terrible if they showed up down there and they said, oh, you had to be registered by the day before.
Yes, sir. I'll double check on that and let you know later this afternoon.
Very good. And certainly, I'd like to, any way that we can promote it, so more people know about it and they're able to access all this. Can you, right now, access that list of all those properties online?
Yes.
So is that on MVBA's website?
On MVBA Tax Sales website, if you go right now, there's a posting for the Harrison County sale, and the very first page that you see is the page that you saw, and then it'll have the bid sheets after that.
Very good. Ms. James, our county clerk, had a comment.
Those foreclosures are filed in our office too, and then we scan those and post them on my website. So that may be a place to put that too.
Sure.
People would know. But we do scan those and they go on to the website.
Well, and maybe you would put that same information out there about it going online. If you don't mind following up with Ms. James, and she can work with our IT department to get a link or whatever someone needs
Okay.
to be able to go sign up so they can bid on these.
Yep, I'd be happy to do that. And we do have to, once you all approve this, we do have to record the rules in the county clerk's office so that anybody who comes can see the resolution, and then it won't take effect until 2024.
So this won't be effective next week.
No, it will not. Next week we will be in person. December, we will be in person. These have to actually be recorded for at least 90 days before we can have a sale online.
So at the Tuesday meeting, you'll be letting everybody know, hey, next year, no need to show up here, you need to.
Yes.
sign up online. Okay.
And I don't know if you have ever seen the number of people that are out there, but it seems to be growing every time we have a sale. And so it is a little bit cumbersome to try and get everybody to where we can see them and hear them, and they can see and hear us and not block the entryway to the courthouse. So hopefully that'll alleviate some of that on the first Tuesdays.
It's kind of a negative thing for us, when we were thinking about opening up a taco truck out there.
These start at 10, and I've seen it, it is quite a few people there. Typically, what time are they usually?
It depends on how many properties we have in the sale. I think we have 60 or 70 in the sale this next week, and it'll take probably an hour. You know, December, when we do the resales, when we used to have so many resales, we would be there until almost noon, you know, before we ever even started taking any money, just calling the properties off. But now they will go all the way until 4 o'clock. So it really depends on how people are bidding and how many properties are in the sale.
Yeah. I knew.
And you had mentioned, as I was visiting with you the other day, in this bidding process, if I wanted to bid maybe a maximum of $5,000 for a property, that I could set that as my maximum, and it would start my bid lower and just keep bumping me up if I was being outbid.
Yes.
So it's not something like you have to sit there and monitor it all day.
That's correct.
It takes a little bit of the work off of it.
And it will broaden the number of bidders that are, you know, that can bid on our properties, because they can be anywhere in the United States and bid. They really could be anywhere where they have online access, and they would be able to bid. They wouldn't have to physically be here. So that enables people that do this for a living to bid at multiple sales on the same day.
So if you can bid on eBay, you can bid on this property?
Yes.
Just, yeah, that's simple.
If you can use Facebook Marketplace, you can bid on this property.
That's right. Excellent.
Thank you for that. Any other questions or comments? We have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Number 7 is consideration of approval for Veronica King, our tax assessor collector, continuing education transcript to be recorded with the Commissioners Court.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Mauldin. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 8 is consideration and action on the appointment of Zach Thompson to fill the unexpired term expiring December 2023 of Ernest Choice as Fire Commissioner for Harrison County Emergency Services District Number 7.
I talked with Chief Murph King in Wascom, and they're very supportive of this young man. I'd like to make the motion to accept.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Number 9 is consideration and action regarding the approval of the Harrison County Airport ground lease tenant constructed hangar number 14 between Harrison County and Dr. John McDonald, commencing on January 1st, 2023 and ending on December 31, 2057, and aircraft registration for said hangar.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Mauldin. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes 4-0. Number 10 is consideration and action regarding the approval of Harrison County Airport ground lease tenant constructed hangar number 22 between Harrison County and Dr. John McDonald, commencing on January 1st, 2023 and ending on December 31, 2057, and aircraft registration for said hangar. The previous one was hangar number 14. This is an additional hangar that Dr. McDonald has motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Malden. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 11 is consideration and action, subject to ratification in open court, the approval to rescind order number 2023-367 dated September 12, 2023, and to approve the appointments of Mr. Leon Carter and Mr. Jeff Henderson, and the reappointment of Mr. John LaFoy and Mr. David Nelson for the Harrison County Finance Corporation. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 12 is consideration and approval of the application to the Governor's Office of the State of Texas for a grant in the amount of $500,000. The funds are to be used at the sheriff's discretion to supplement the wages of Harrison County's sheriff, sheriff's deputy, and jailers under certain conditions. They may also be used to supplement the sheriff's equipment budget. Their rules and conditions are described in Senate Bill 22 of the 88th Texas Legislature and are established in Section 1, Subchapter Z, amending Chapter 130 of the Local Government Code by adding Section 1130.911. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning. Yeah, as y'all read this, you know, we can't even apply for this until January the 1st of '24. But that being said, I thought it was appropriate to go ahead and get it on the books now because we're going to be expending funds that basically on a promise for the next 90 days until we get this money in. So I thought it would be good to go ahead and get it on the record and get it approved that we do intend to apply for this. If you read the bill, it insinuates that this will be an annual renewal. Of course, you know, anything that gets legislated can at some point get unlegislated, but we hope that it will continue in the future. But want to go ahead and get this done now so that everybody be on the same page.
So you're asking us to approve the application, and then you're going to.
I'll take, yes, sir, become January.
Filling all that information out, gathering whatever you need to.
Yes, sir.
submit and ready to see it.
Absolutely.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Timmons, second by Commissioner Hatfield. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Similarly, here, number 13, this is almost the same, but for the DA's office. Consideration and approval of the application to the Comptroller's Office of the State of Texas for a grant in the amount of $275,000. These funds are to be used at the District Attorney's discretion to supplement the wages of Harrison County Assistant District Attorneys, District Attorney Investigators, Crime Victims Assistance Coordinators, or to hire additional new staff. Rules and conditions are described in Senate Bill 22 of the 88th Texas Legislature and are established in Section 1, Subchapter Z, amending Chapter 130 of Local Government Code by adding Section 1130.913. Again, this is same Senate Bill 22 that's made available more funds for our district attorney's office. We did in our budget cycle to utilize these funds to increase the pay for our sheriff's office and also for our district attorney's office. This is simply the grant that will furnish those funds.
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Timmons and a second by Commissioner Malden. Any questions or comments?
Do the rules get established where you can see them now? About a month ago, the rules weren't actually in place.
No, sir, they're still not. That's one of the things that I don't know why they always take a reactive stance instead of proactive, because they had since June that they could have prepared all these rules that they should be in place now, but I guess they look at it, well, they don't want to, if something goes wrong and it doesn't get passed, then we've wasted all of our efforts. So they wait till they know that it's in effect. So they will use that time between now and January 1 to set all the rules in place. Could come in a little earlier, but the bill says January 1, so I really don't expect to be able to do anything before that date.
Do you know what happens if these grants cease and the county is on the hook for the matching funds, such as, healthcare and different things like that.
So, the way we added this into our budget and our slot list, we put a column in there that's only for these funds that are dedicated, and so if these went away, that column goes away in our slot list. Sure does.
And to answer your question, if it ever goes away, I'm sure the sheriff will be in your office right away asking, want to know how we're gonna fix this.
We'll send him to see the governor. All right, we got a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item number 14, consideration and action regarding.
Judge, while I'm here, I would like to back up a minute and talk about the 911 addressing. Just put my 2 cents worth in on that. Some 3 or 4 months ago, the judge asked me to help look into that, simply because of my involvement with EDCOG. Little did I know at the time that it was really going to become very important for me to look into it, simply because of the situation that we've got right now with TxDOT, where we're granting them a little piece of property where they're going to supply us a new 350-foot tower. Well, part of that process, in order for them to proceed, they have to have a physical address for that property. So I thought, well, this is easy enough. I'll just call, I'll get a copy of the bill, from Sherry, and it'll have the address on there. Well, no address. So this kind of brings to light to me what really a grave situation we've been in, and really didn't realize it with our 911 addressing. Just to give you, this is a perfect example. Out there on Mr. Wheat's property, there are total of 3 radio towers, and there's also one more right on his next door neighbor's property. Now, none of those properties have physical addresses, but if some severe accident were to take place, some kind of disaster, a worker out there falls off the tower, has a heart attack, whatever, there's no way to find those locations because they're not in the system. But thanks to the work that's gone into this, that's going to get corrected. Now, there's, I'm sure, many other locations in the county that are in the same shape, so it's going to be a long-term project getting it updated. But at least now we can, and I want to say thanks to Lisa, to Charlene, to Liz, to Luke. A bunch of people really had a hand in getting this done, because in the first place, when I started looking into it, we all scrambled for, I can't tell you how long, just trying to find our 911 addressing rules, and we couldn't find them. So we were under the assumption for a while that we didn't even have any. So we went back to EDCOG, and we were using Rusk counties as kind of a template, because they had, they're on this project too, and so they had just recently updated theirs, and so we were kind of using theirs for a guide. Well, in the midst of all this, Lisa finds ours from back in 1991. And as we reviewed those, we found that they were somewhat outdated, and there was a lot of things in there that needed to be upgraded, and a lot of things just didn't make sense the way they were laid out. So between everybody doing individual reviews, and then 3 really long Zoom sessions with us and EDCOG, just literally going over that stuff line by line, we've now got a really good set of 911 addressing. And like I say, it's going to be a long-term process getting all those places updated, because there's probably hundreds of them out there that don't even have an address that should have. But we will get there, and just wanted to let y'all know that there was a lot of work that went into that, and they're all to be commended for that.
Thank you, sir, very much.
You bet.
Thank you for your work.
Now, back to item number 14. This is consideration and action regarding the approval of the reimbursement of check number 21945 in the amount of $10,000 to Gum Springs Water Supply Corporation that was provided as the local match regarding the 2023-2024 Texas CDBG grant that was not awarded to Gum Springs Water Supply Corporation. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Malden, a second by Commissioner Timmons. Any questions or comments?
I do have a comment, because sometimes I get phone calls about, when are they gonna put water lines in our area and things like that, and I just want to make the comment to the people that, the county is not in control of these water lines and these water corporations. We don't want them to get confused just because, but this money do have to come through this court. You know, it's just a grant that they're receiving and a reimbursement check or what have you, but I want people to know that Harrison County, we are not in control of these water companies.
Yeah, that's a good point. I know Mr. Derek Todd is here representing, he's the manager for Gum Springs, and this was an unfortunate event here, that they did not receive this sizable grant that was to upgrade and improve their water supply facilities out there. I know they're in a big need for it, and I'm still working on this. It's possible that we could get this, still get it done, but it just doesn't look like it at the moment, so we thought it best, especially at the end of our fiscal year, to reimburse y'all's money
Yes.
for this.
And on behalf of the board and me, they want to say thank you and look forward to trying to see what we can do next time. And we'll just try it again and see what goes through.
Absolutely, we'll do it.
So
You
we
got
met
our
about
support.
that, and I just want to let y'all know, we met at our last meeting, and they want me to let you know when I came today to say thank you.
Yes, sir.
to
We
Charlene and
appreciate
all
what
of
you
y'all.
guys are doing out there, and we want to see, I mean, you're providing a awfully necessary service to our residents there, so.
Yeah, and when people do, to talk about what you said, they will call us every now and then, they'll call a commissioner
Right.
and see about wanting water. And when the boundaries were established many years ago in the water systems, they only ran so far down the roads. And it's not like it used to where someone could just come in and pay a certain amount of money and extend the line down to this person's house. Now everything has to go through an engineer, through the state. We're governed by the TCEQ, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. So now we have to look at our flows, our pressures, everything. And being a community water system as we are, and normally when you extend the line or extend that, it has to go through a non-standard application. After they come in and pay so much money to look at, send it to your engineer. He looks at all the models, drafts it all up, and then that person wanting the water has to pay the money to get it to, for a subdivision or for, if they live here and they need water 2,000 foot down the road, because you can't put that back on your members. You know, that's something that's steadily new coming in. And for the most part, everybody understands that. And the biggest thing we have is the potential growth. We have all the subdivisions that are coming in. Well, they have to pay. I call it, if they're wanting to play, they got to pay. Because you can't let your members now bear the burden of 40 new homes coming in and of all the new water lines that's needing to be put in for them 40 homes. That's new. So they normally pay for that. But that's where you'll get the phone calls. And I try to tell them, but
Yeah,
The-
I try to refer them
the-
back to you guys.
and then
because I
it's
don't have the
it's a
answer.
bouncing game.
Yes.
Because they'll go back and forth between us.
Okay.
But anytime you got a question over in my area, even somebody that calls you that's in my area, anybody, just let me know. I'm easy to find. This man can find me. Judging and find me, just let, because I do, for the size of the water, I'll do a few more things for the county. So y'all can find me anywhere you need me. But we appreciate y'all.
You bet, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hatfield, second by Commissioner Malden. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion passes 4-0. We're adjourned. It's 10:08.
Right around.